Hello, everyone. This is Southern Belle Whisper. I hope you all are doing well today. My best friend, Danielle, I told you about her in my past videos, has requested that I do another Get Ready With Me video. So I'm going to do that today because I asked her, I was like, what? Like, I want to do a video so bad, but I don't know what type of video to do. And she was like, well, just do another Get Ready With Me. So that is what I'm going to do today. I hope everyone is doing well today. It was an absolutely beautiful, beautiful day here in Virginia. This bow is looking very sad. Trying to get on the right way. Okay. It was an absolutely beautiful day here in Virginia. It's actually hot in my room right now because I need to get air conditioner for my room because it was actually hot today. It was 70 degrees today, but it was like one of those nice sit on the porch and read type of days. I love this junk. I'm gonna have to get some more at some point because I don't want to run out. But yeah, it was just one of those days that was absolutely gorgeous. So I want to talk to you guys. This is going to be more of a ramble. Get ready with me video. I've been watching a lot of, I'm still using the Too Faced concealer, by the way. I've been watching a lot of like religious Christian podcast because it really inspires me. And God, my cat's gonna come in here. I swear he knows how to open the door. Do you hear him? Please don't knock down my camera. You're fine, just don't knock down my camera, baby. I don't think he's going to. No, he's not. Lay down, be a good boy. But, where was I? Oh my goodness. But yeah, this is going to be more like a ramble video. What was I? Oh my goodness. Nothing really specific or anything like that. Oh, I remember now. Sorry. I've been watching a lot of podcasts lately, and God bless her, because I know I mention her in my videos all the time. But Soft ASMR has a podcast on TikTok called the Walking Podcast, I think. I just found it a few days ago, and I have pretty much watched all of them, and like, wow. It's just so nice to find somebody that's so relatable when it comes to my faith and my troubled past, because I grew up in the church, you guys, okay? My mom was a church going, she took me to church every Sunday and Wednesday nights, and as any young kid, I hated going to church when I was younger, unless I went to Bible school or I was going to vacation Bible school or doing something fun at church. I absolutely hated the sermons because, you know, I'm a little kid. I actually fell asleep in church. But my mom used to always sing in the church all the time. If you guys don't know how beautiful my mom can sing, I'll try to get her to, I've been trying to get her to do another video, but she's been going through some things lately, and But I know she misses you guys. She misses making videos a lot. But she used to always take me to church. Right here. This church right down the road from me. Because I told you guys, this house that I'm living in right now was the house that I grew up in. I used to tell my mom all the time when I would have dreams about this house. And I'd say to her, I just have a feeling that we're going to end up back at that house. And lo and behold, we did. But she used to take me to church all the time. So she instilled that love of God in me. Except for the times when the pastor would talk about the resurrection. No, not the resurrection. Sorry, the coming back of Christ. I remember being scared to death at 11 years old, hearing, oh, everybody better be, marking your Q's and slashing your T's, or slashing your T's and marking your Q's because God's coming back. And I would have nightmares, actually, that God would look at me and say, I never knew you. Even though I was a Christian, that God would look at me and say, I never knew you. So when I was like 11 years old, that freaked the heck out of me. And then when I was 13, I recited the sinner's prayer when I was 11. And then when I was 13, the pastor at my church was like, was there anybody that would like to get baptized in the river? And my mom pointed to me. She was like, this one right here, this one. I was like, Ma. And I was actually scared. Like, I don't know why I was scared. My dad, God love him, I love my dad, but he was like, what if you get out there in the river and you drown? Like, he would say things like that. But that was when he was an alcoholic. So, like, I was actually scared to get baptized. But that was a beautiful day. And everything changed after that day. Because when I was 13, if you guys haven't seen the video, it's a really old video. If you would like a newer video, let me know. But I had something called irregular tonsil tissue all my life. And not just any regular tonsils. These were as big as mushrooms. And they lined my tongue, both sides of my throat, all the way down my tongue and around my voice box. The doctor said to my mother, he said, she is really lucky that she's never suffocated to death. He said her airway is no bigger than a pencil eraser. And that's all for my tonsils. And they grew back 3 times. They grew back 3 times. No, 4 times. Yeah, they grew back 4 times. But the surgery when I was 13 put me in a coma because the doctor went in to do the surgery and he came back out 20 minutes later and told my mom that I just had too much tonsil tissue and he couldn't do it, and that I would have to have a trach put in, and that I would have to have 2 to 3 years worth more of surgeries, that there was just too much tissue, he said, and he couldn't do it. So my mom, being feisty and strong and loving me more than anybody ever has in my life, said, no sir. I had this done at Wytheville, Virginia Hospital, if you guys know where that's at. She was like, no sir. She said, you are going to call the Baptist Hospital in Winston-Salem and you are going to get my daughter out of here. But they had to put me in a drug-induced coma so I wouldn't pull out my breathing tube, because they had to put a breathing tube down my throat, so I could breathe. But I was like that for 5 days. And he finally transferred me to the Baptist Hospital in Winston-Salem. But the reason I'm talking about that is that that was when everything changed for me, religiously. For one thing, my pastor at my church showed up at the hospital that morning at 5 o'clock in the morning, and it was like 5 o'clock in the morning, and he had surprised us. And he goes, I remember what he said. He surprised us as we were walking through the door. He said, "Oh, y'all going on vacation?" And he had come for me, and he brought me like a prayer cloth. And I'm trying to think, I don't think I had a prayer blanket or anything. It was a prayer cloth. And he prayed with me, and he said, I pray that angels will surround your bedside. And this happened before everything went down. And the reason I talk about that now is that, that's when everything changed for me religiously. When it comes to my religion, that's when everything changed. Because I remember at one point, when I was still with Phil, I actually woke up. I hate that I have to keep doing that. It's not very attractive. I'm sorry, but I'm still dealing with the sinus junk. But he showed up before everything went down, before I was put under anesthesia and everything. But that's when everything changed. When it pertains to my religion. Because I remember at one point I was still at Whitfield Hospital, and I guess they hadn't given me enough of the anesthesia medicine, and I actually woke up and I started fighting the tube, the breathing tube, but they had tied my hands down so I wouldn't pull out the breathing tube. And then I just stopped because I was banging, because of course I can't reach the nurse light, right? So I was banging my feet against the bed trying to get somebody's attention, and then I just stopped. And I said in my head, I was smarter than my 13 years, and I just said, God, I'm exhausted. I'm tired of fighting. I'm tired of being sick. Whatever I'm going through right now, whatever they're doing with me right now, I just stopped. I literally let go, and I let God. And I closed my eyes, and I heard him. I did. I heard him in my heart say, I will never let anything happen to you. It gives me goosebumps now. And I'm trying not to cry because, the nose. So, and then right after I heard him say that, a nurse ran in and was like, "Oh, we didn't realize, sorry." I hate that hospital. At first I thought I was going to work there when I first got here, and I was like, hell no, I would never work there. But I got over everything. I was, moved to the Baptist Hospital and got my tonsils out. But ever since I was 13, I had a very close relationship with God. And all the way up to my young 20s, I just kept growing in my faith, and especially in my 20s, I was going to church every day and, doing what I could to help, with food pantry, or if they need, a tall person to help decorate the church or anything like that. I was always there because I just loved helping people, and just, I want God to be proud of me. So I did everything I could to be a better person. But when I met my husband, or my ex, I met him, I told you guys I met him through his mom because she was a piano player at my church. And I still love her. I mean, I gotta say that. She's always been there for me, but that's a hard thing to have to get through. Because I always loved her. But when I met my husband is when things started going downhill when it pertained to my faith. Because I stopped going to church, I got into drugs, and pretty much my life went to shit. And I've got a point here, I promise. I'm sorry, you guys, this is just horrible. I was looking for my ally. But yeah, everything went to crap when I met my husband. I stopped going to church. I lost so much of my faith. And I put my husband first in my life. And that was a no-no. I put him before everybody. I put him before my family. I put him before God. He was numero uno in my life. And the difference was, he was the number one in my life, but I was never the number one in his life. Because if he did love me, he would have done anything for me, and he didn't. And he knows it. So, but he said he was a Christian. He said, that was one of the first things he told me when he was, trying to get me to come back home, was that he was reading his devotional every day, and, just things that he thought would make me think twice about our separation. But I saw through that bullshit. Where is there it is. No, actually, I need the curler first. I just went through such a dark time without God. I didn't feel him because I was so focused on my husband and how he was feeling and how happy he was, that I wasn't focusing not one bit on my religion and my walk with God. And now, 2 months later, and he gives me these little God winks. The past 2 months, I've so many things have happened. Since my best friend was the one that told me to make this video, we were talking about Napoleon Dynamite last night. And then the first thing my dad said while we were sitting on the porch earlier is, "Hey, do you remember that movie Napoleon Dynamite?" I was like, God wink. And then I see numbers like 222 and 333. I can be, watching TV, I'll look at my phone and it's like 444, things like that. You can always tell when God, he's very subtle. Subtle. He's very subtle. Sorry. When it pertains to, because a lot of people are like, oh, I don't feel God. I don't feel that he's here with me. But if you really focus and you really just look around, you'll notice like that, just that little Napoleon Dynamite thing was enough to make me look at myself and say, hey, I'm on the right road. I'm on the road to whatever God wants of me, because that is what is the most important to me right now, is what God wants of me. Like, I'm wanting to start my life over and figure out what Kelly wants to be and what Kelly wants to do, but I'm more focused on what God wants of me now, because he was always there. I realized he was literally always there for me. He was just ready for me to come home, literally. That's the way I feel. He was, there's a Facebook post on Facebook that says, I forget, just come home type of God. He said, I don't care how far you've gone, just come home type of God. And that's so true. I'm so sorry about all the nose rubbing. Oh, God, it's so embarrassing. I know it's not attractive at all, but I hope it doesn't take away from this video, because I've literally restarted this video so many times. But that is it. Very nice. But I hope you guys enjoyed this, and Danielle, I hope you enjoyed this. And hello again to Caleb and Hayden. She told me that Caleb said, huh, I'm famous now. So cute. I love you guys, and I'll be talking to you soon.